I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Look Back, a video series that I do each week where I take a look at this same week time frame and tell you about the reviews I did a year, 5 years, and 10 years ago, and what I think about them now. Except today is going to be really short because last year I didn't review any games this week. I think it was the Spring Spectacular. And 5 years ago, I only reviewed one game, but I'll talk about that game real quick. That game is Zooscape. Zooscape is from Tasty Minstrel Games, and it was actually remade with a Japanese collecting samurai theme. The theme doesn't really matter. In this game, you have a bunch of animals, and people are splitting them. You know, you're just kind of if I split them, and eventually people are going to grab them, and you're collecting them. It's fine. It's okay. It's nothing to really write home about. The remake was better. The zoo one makes no sense thematically, so I gave it a 6. 10 years ago, I had a few games. First of all, Commander-in-Chief. So Commander-in-Chief is a game that's trying to be a chess-style game with cool little plastic miniatures that look like the soldiers' toys. I gave it a 4 out of 10. The designer then immediately challenged me to play it with him at several conventions, and 10 years later, I've still managed to avoid that confrontation, but I just don't think it's very good. Bits. This is from Reiner Knizia. This is a sequel to Fits, which was a Tetris-style game. The Bits is also Tetris-style, but they're all like just little rectangles. I just didn't like it very much. It was just bleh. It felt like making a game for the sake of making a game. I give that one a 5 out of 10. Clash of the Gladiators, another Knizia game. This one is an old-style game in which you have a bunch of chariots moving around. The theme actually works. You have a chariot. You pick the different people in your chariot. You're going to pick maybe people who throw nets, spears, whatever, and then you roll around and chuck dice. It is crazy random. If you die, you then get to control the animals that are in this coliseum fighting these gladiators. It's fine. It's more of a kid's game or a family game than anything else. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Shootout. This is a 7 out of 10, and for some reason, I don't remember much else other than that I enjoyed it to some degree, but that's mostly because I want to get to my number 9, which is another Reiner Knizia game, Through the Desert. I don't know why I said it's number 9. I rate it a 9. Through the Desert is a classic game that's come in many different versions, all worth getting, where you have a bunch of camels in different pastel colors. You're placing them a few at a time on the board. It's very similar to Go in many ways, the classic game Go, but I like it so much more. It's one of my favorite Reiner Knizia games. Definitely worth checking out. That's it, folks. I have a lot more games to talk about next week, but check them out if you want to see more about these. We have a link to each one in the description of this video. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this has been Look Back on the Dice Tower.